Hello again, everyone. Today I want to make a card for a friend of mine. I feel she is a friend. I've never met this lady, but because of our shared passion for what I'm doing now, we've become friends through comments, through messages, etc. And I would just like to send her a card to say that I'm thinking of her. She has a few medical problems at the moment, and so my thoughts are with her, so I just want my card to be with her as well. So what I'm starting with today, I'm going to do a little mixed media one. The one I'm starting with is one of the napkins that was given to me by Julie when I was at Kennel with this last time. I don't know where Julie gets her supplies from, but she's been so generous to everyone with card and all this kind of stuff. And she presented Nicola and I with a box each of goodies. Napkins, tissue paper, glitter paper, mirror card. Oh, amazing, absolutely amazing. And I thought this was so pretty. So I'm going to use most of it. I mean, it actually, you could put the whole thing on, but I want to just make it a little bit more arty, shall we say, not just stick it on. So I'm going to take a bit of this out to put onto my card base. I'm going to put some colour on. I thought I would use this. I haven't used this stamp set before, I don't think, not this particular one, to put some colour on. This is from Amazon. My distress inks, can you see this, is a lovely pink blue. To me, there's not really much of a pink blue there. Stormy Sky is the nearest, but it's kind of a bit dark. So I'm going to use spun sugar instead, a pink, a little bit of pink in the background, which I think would look quite nice. So first thing I'm going to do is actually do that and put some of that pink on. Let me grab this stamp. Don't know what it's going to be like, but we will see. There's one way to find out. I quite like using stamps in my fingers because, you know, you can get just as much of it as you want, really. So let's just pop a bit down here. Not quite straight, but that doesn't matter, does it? Let's have a bit down this other corner down here. Have a bit in the middle there. It's just putting a bit of background colour onto the card. That's all I'm doing. Do you see what I mean? By just, you know, using your fingers, and you can just get as much of the stamp as you want. Okay, never used that one before. It's come out quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. So we'll pop that away. I'll just leave that on the top to wash presently. Now, the next thing I think I'm going to do is to put some of my napkin on over that sort of area. I'm going to use Liquitex this time. I tried it once before and I was really pleased with it. It dries super flat, both in appearance as regards shininess and also in the, you know, the card is flat. So I'm really pleased. So here's my water brush. I want to get rid of this straight line, so I'm going to just use my water brush to, you know, outline the bits that I want. Let's try that much. When you do that, it relaxes the fibres of the paper and it'll just tear along the line that you wet. This feels like I've still got 2 layers here. I don't know if I have, or whether it's just quite thick tissue. So let's just alter the shape of the bottom of this as well, slightly. Get that a bit out of there. That's better. Now, some of this underneath should show through the tissue. We'll see. I can always stamp over the top if not. I'm going to get that kind of, I need to get these straight. So that's the sort of area. Okay. Stuff onto this. I don't know if you're supposed to shake this or not. I think this is going to be tough enough to glue the back. Okay. All right, I'm going to put some more glue over the top of the Liquitex. And the pink does show through, which is great. Get a bit more. Okay, move that to one side. I've had to move my die cutting machine a bit out of the way because of all the things I need. One thing I must do before I go any further is I want to put some butterflies onto this card. Tiny ones, but I want to use gilding flakes. Where are they? Here they are. Some gilding flakes and some mica to make the background for the butterflies. So I'm going to put glue onto this piece of card. This is Nouveau craft glue. Is it that what it's called? Glue pen. It's just, and it's the broad tipped glue pen. Okay, so I've put some glue onto my piece of card and I want to add some gilding flakes. However, if I add my gilding flakes when it is still very liquid, when I come to burnish, I'll just push them around. In order to grab the gilding flakes, this glue needs to have gone off just a little so that it's tacky, not wet. So I'm going to pop that just on one side for a minute. I can see it's starting. The thinner parts of the glue would probably be ready now, but just there, where I first started off, there's a great puddle of glue. So I need to wait until that is dry. Okay, you can tell it looks satiny rather than shiny. Right, while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to do some stenciling onto here, and I'm going to use some of my homemade embossing paste. I will put a link to the recipe, the video where I do the recipe, in the link below, in the description below. So here's my, I've got a my embossing paste. I've got an Alexandra Renker stencil. So I'm going to put a few bits of this over here, and I'm going to put twinkle on today. I have decided I'm in the mood for a little twinkle today. So let's have this bit here. Bit there, okay, and we'll have some over here. Okay, and maybe a little at the top. I fancy it going that way, so let's just turn this stencil over and we'll have a little bit up there. Just a tad more. And I've gone on to the card there, so I'll just scrape that bit off just here. Okay. Now I'm going to add some twinkle, and then I'll just clean off my stencil because I don't want it to go terribly hard. All right, here's my box of twinkle. This is Glamour Dust, but it's just ultra fine glitter. Clear ultra fine glitter. Now some of that looks very twinkly all over because some at the moment is kind of hanging on to the Liquitex, but it will brush off. Just, you see, I should have done it over a piece of paper really. I'll do it over this. You see, it does brush off, but it should stick to the embossing paste because the embossing paste is comprised of white glue, white paint, talcum powder, and a little water. Isn't that pretty? Oh my word. Okay, I'm all cleaned up. So now I want to do some stamping on here. I've got a few little stamps. I do like these circly bits, so I think I may put some of those on, but it's what colour to do it that I'm a bit concerned with. I have got out this Stampin' Up old ink in Bashful Blue, which is actually a nice colour. It's not that colour. It's a pale blue. I think I will use that because I intend using this for the sentiment, and I've chosen my sentiment here, but I'll come to that in just a moment. Let's pop this onto a little block and we'll try some of this. I'll show you what it looks like on a little piece of scrap first of all. That's the colour. You see, it doesn't look anything like that. So, oops, lost it. Let's put a bit of glue on this. It probably could do with a really good wash. I can see there's bits of glitter on the back of it. That's one reason why it won't be sticking terribly well. Could have used that for the background, couldn't I? But I'm quite happy with the pink, actually. Okay. Oh, that's getting tacky. Good. Let's have a little bit of something printy. What colour? Hickory smoke. Let's just try a bit of hickory smoke. No, that's no good. I might not bother actually with that. I just can't think of a colour that is going to be respectful of the colours I've already got here. Hickory smoke's just not on the right spectrum. Lost shadow maybe. That's so pale. Let's have a look at some lost shadow. That will do, I think. Let's just pop that over there. Now, let's see if we can get on and do the butterflies that I want to do. Okay, first thing I want to do is to put some tiny bits of gilding flakes onto here. My butterflies are really quite small. Someone said to me in a comment the other day that they had gilding flakes but didn't like to use them because they made such a mess. Well, to be honest, when I first had gilding flakes, I used to get in an incredible pickle. And I think the reason was I used to use just too much. Absolutely too much. And for example, if you were trying to use this kind of glue to attach your gilding flakes and you didn't wait for it to go tacky, then you may well have had problems, you know, burnishing or whatever. So I would encourage anybody who has got gilding flakes in their supplies to just have another go. Don't use too many and, you know, don't sneeze. Oh dear. So we'll just see how we go. What I'm going to do is just tamp down these flakes so that they're actually hanging on to a bit of that glue. This is my scoochie from Indigo Blue. So I'm just pushing them down where they are. Not pushing them around because I don't want them to take up all the space, because I want some of the space for my mica powder, which is right here. Okay. Right, I've pressed it down. Now, just pop this onto a piece of paper, should any escape. This is just cheap mica powder, and I've got this is a Perfect Pearls brush. It's just a very soft tipped brush. Dip it into the powder and just put some over the glue. Well, over everywhere really, where you have glued. Let's push this around a little bit. There we go. Rather too much powder, didn't need all that, did I? It's a very economical sort of technique, this one. Now I'm going to use my scoochie and burnish those gilding flakes. You can see where the glue is a bit thin, can't you? Okay. It's quite pretty, isn't it? I think we'll just have the two butterflies, actually. So let's join these two together. Now, my sentiment that I want is from this set from Amazon, and I wanted to sending love and hugs. The colour of this is not quite what I'd anticipated. Oh, I've lost a body. Where's that gone? Here it is. I'm going to do something with the edges of those just to make them more this sort of colour. That's no good. Or is it? I've had a little play with these things, and I mixed some different blues just with water, just a squirt of water, and I've toned down. That's the colour they were. This is the colour they are, and I think they go rather better than they did. Would you agree? I think they do. So I'm just going to pop out all these little extraneous bits. I am going to be getting some of my gilding wax out and adding a little bit of that to the edges of these butterfly wings, and probably to the bodies as well. I didn't kind of think of that earlier. So it's been a bit of a resurrection, really, because I was just not pleased with how the colour of the original mica mixed with, it was too yellow, how it mixed with the colours of the blues already on the napkin and the ones from the Stormy Sky, which I put on. Okay. And they put a little bit of this on the tips of the wings. Butterflies often have just a slightly different colour just on the edges of the wings, don't they? So and if I don't like the sentiment and the colour that it is, I can always stamp it and emboss it in gold. Now let's just see if I can get the body of this gold as well. Not too keen on that. I'll try it in gold and see what we think of it in gold. Just wondering whether to put a dragonfly on, actually. I'll have to alter the colour, but I could quite happily. Let's do it purple. There's a deep purple. Well, I got there, by fair means or foul, decided on a little extra creature. In the end, I'm happy. I was despairing partway through because I was just not getting the colours I wanted and all the rest of it, but I'm happy at the end, so it was worth persevering, I think. So I hope you stuck with me. And agree that it's all right in the end. It turned out all right in the end. A Facebook page I put on today was after a crafter had asked me if I knew where my followers came from in the world, and I thought to myself, well, yes, I do really, but do you know, so many people have responded today who probably just have a look normally, but it's so lovely to see people from all corners of the world who watch. So I feel humbled. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for you, my YouTube subscribers too. I am most grateful for your support. So, till next time, thank you so much.